So we can't be beaten on this policy-wise. I think we've already won the policy arguments on the economy, on education, on a number of issues. I think we've got some work to do on the young people who think differently on abortion, perhaps, or guns, or climate change. But even there, the Democrats' messages are usually cynical. The thing I'm really concerned about with this, Laura, is that the left becomes a turnout machine with young people.
Kellyanne Conway's assessment on the issues facing the Republican Party are both hilarious and horrifyingly incorrect. When she says that the Republicans have already won on policy issues, she mentions education and economy. That is absolutely not true. The Republican Party is completely against public education as a whole. I mean, look who was just the education secretary in Betsy DeVos. Not only that, but when it comes to things like healthcare or the economy, who is it that's always talking against things like a minimum wage or raising the minimum wage or raising taxes for the super wealthy or just making the playing field more equitable in general? It's certainly not the Republican Party. And then she says, well, perhaps we can get better on things like abortion and guns. Well, you think? I mean, that's an area to start. But again, first and foremost, the Republicans have absolutely not won on the economy or education or healthcare or anything along those lines, which is why people are turning out for the left more and more.
Our candidates lost the early voting miserably last time. I mean, someone like Dr. Oz lost the early vote to John Fetterman by over 4-1. So we need to compete for ballots, not just voters and not just minds.
And then she goes on to point out that in the previous elections, Republican candidates lost miserably in things like early turnout and stuff like that. But the Republican establishment is always speaking against things like early turnout or mail-in ballots, or things that could actually assist them in winning elections.
Influencers have this domino effect, lemming-like effect of people just all then wanting to be part of the same crowd. And if they succeed in that way, we're not doing a great job competing for ballots. We're just competing for votes.
But if Republicans and conservatives in this country were talking about things other than, the Bud Light transgender campaign, things like that, like, oh, they're trying to turn our beer gay. They're trying to turn everybody gay. The trans people exist. They're trying to turn our kids into trans kids. Like, if y'all would talk about something other than that, then maybe the youth would follow suit. But you're not talking about making the healthcare system more affordable. You're not talking about making education more affordable. You're not talking about lowering the cost of living in any significant way. Y'all ain't even talking about bringing manufacturing back to the country domestically. You're talking about none of these things. So this isn't an issue of, oh, well, the youngsters are going to get captured by the cool hipster influencers. And no, it's a matter of y'all ain't selling nothing. And, what Lindsey Graham tweeted out not so many years ago was 100% accurate when he said that if we allow Donald Trump to win, we're going to be destroying ourselves and we will have deserved it. And it's absolutely glorious watching the Republican Party falter and crumble underneath Donald Trump. I mean, this man has this party in a chokehold unlike anything I've ever personally seen in my lifetime. Because the establishment Republicans, the insiders, they haven't liked Donald Trump since 2015. Yet they've been kissing his ass and helping him every step of the way ever since he's been running. And now, despite the fact, let alone his history of tax fraud and ripping people off, when you just talk about stuff that happened while he was in office, being impeached twice and becoming the first president to ever be indicted, that's never happened before. So it's just absolutely hilarious to watch the Republican Party flail around, not know what the hell they're doing, not know how to get a hold of themselves. And then their assessment is, well, it's just the woke, cool influencers and the hipsters. They're just making all these kids show up to the polls. Like, nah, it's that y'all suck and people are voting for Democrats instead.